I want to talk about some of the exponent rules you'll encounter in algebra. And I want to briefly talk about why they work the way they do, and then how we can use them. All right? So, first of all, let me just remind you that if I write something like 4 to the third power, what that means is that I am taking 4 and multiplying it 3 times. That's what that means. Okay, so with that in mind, if I were to say, what is x to the fourth multiplied by x squared, you would think, well, this one means I have 4 x's multiplied together, and this one means I have 2 more x's multiplied together. So I have 6 x's being multiplied together. So this could be written as x to the 6th power. Remember, the exponent just counts up how many multiplications. So that's all we did there was we said, well, there's 4 x's and 2 more x's. There are 6 x's being multiplied together. So if we said y squared times y cubed times y to the first, or usually we'd write just y, we'd say, well, this is y times y. This is 3 y's all multiplied together, and this is just one more y. How many total y's do we have being multiplied together? We have 6. So oftentimes you will see the rule written as, if you have x to a power times x to another power, we can just add those 2 powers as a way of quickly counting up how many x's we've got. So that's one exponent rule. When you're multiplying 2 power functions with powers, you typically add the powers to see how many total you've got. So that's rule number 1. Let's do another rule. Again, with a number, let's say that I had like 4 cubed, again, squared. Well, anything, 4 cubed squared is the same as 4 cubed times 4 cubed. So you could think, well, I have, 3 4s here and 3 more here for a total of 6. Let's do those with some variables. So if I had x squared to the 5th, this would be x squared multiplied 5 times. So I have 2 x's and 2 x's and 2 x's, 2 x's, 2 x's for a total of 10 x's being multiplied together. I have y cubed to the 4th. I have 4 y cubes multiplied together for a total of 12 y cubes. Okay, or 12 y's, rather. So oftentimes you'll see this rule written this way. X to the a to the b can be written as x to the a times b. Again, just a way of counting up how many multiplications we had. So there's our second rule. When you have a power raised to another power, we simply multiply those 2 as a way of counting up how many multiplications we're doing. All right, now I want to put a couple of these things together and show how they can work in tandem. So first off, we've got 2 kind of exponential type functions all multiplied together. Now, I want to point out that numbers, just plain numbers like the 2 and the 8 here, they behave as always like, what is 2 times 8? Well, 2 times 8 is 16. That does not change. But next we say, all right, we've got 3 x's multiplied together and 2 more here. And remembering that, all that really needs to happen here is that we figure out how many x's. Well, that's a total of 5 x's that are being multiplied together. And we've got 4 y's here and another y right there for a total of 5 y's that are being multiplied together. So that is our solution. Now, down in this next example, I have some powers. Deal with that first. We want or we would rather, I should say, deal with a problem like this one without kind of powers to powers. So I'm going to start by getting rid of those kind of power to power things. Now again, numbers behave as they always would. And that sometimes is tough to remember. But what I mean by that is that 4 squared is just 16. 4 to the second power. And 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. That is 8. So I'm going to write that here. Sometimes people accidentally multiply. Make sure you are doing 4 squared, 2 cubed. All right, then next up, we've got x squared squared, which remember power to power, we multiply as a way of counting. So we've got x to the 4th. And then we've got y, just y to the 1st squared. Well, that's just y squared. Okay. Over on this next one, we've got x cubed cubed. So 3 times 3, that's x to the 9th. And then we've got y squared cubed, so y to the 6th. And you see now we've got a problem that looks like the one above it. And we can say, well, 16 times 8 is 128, just multiplying those numbers, okay? And again, you know, all we did here was multiply those two. And then we go to the next thing. We say, all right, I'm going to multiply the x's, x to the 4th, x to the 9th. We add those together. That's x to the 13th. And then finally, y squared and y to the 6th is a total of y to the 8th. Okay, and that is our answer. So take care of those powers, these things. Take care of those right away, and then kind of simplify after that. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more math help.